Good evening and salutations, my soap opera fans. So, as the title suggests, Derek Baldwin, the definition of a loser. You know, we just called it from jump that this dude is a loser, and every episode, I swear, it's like he just proves that title more and more. Now, we're gonna sit there and talk about a lot of stuff. You know how we do. Hit the like button. Let's sit there and do roll call. Krista is in the chat. Amy is in the chat. How you doing tonight? Alice is in the chat. How you doing tonight? Tanya is in the chat. How you doing tonight? Hope everyone had a great day. And I started on time, so that's pretty cool as well. Yeah, I'm not exactly a fan of Beyond the Gates, but I do watch it, and we can obviously talk about that as well. Um, I guess more or less. Um, it is December, so it's coming out, but I will sit there and tell you this much: General Hospital can't be sleeping because the Young and the Restless is actually gaining some steam. Yeah, the Young and the Restless is actually gaining some steam. That's not something that I often sit there and say. And of course, these listen, GH got competition with Days of Our Lives. So they ain't exactly out the works. As much as I love GH, I also love Days of Our Lives. Allison says, how are you? I'm kind of bored with the Cyrus Jordan stuff. You mean Sitwell? Oh, Curtis Jordan stuff. I mean, I'm good. I had the day off, so what's good, Sean? You know who I'm, and I've said this multiple times. You know who I'm starting to just. I'm really. It's like she's really getting on my damn nerves, and that's Trina. Trina, and the resting bitch face can sit there and just kick rocks without socks. Sad, because I used to actually like Trina, or thought she was somewhat okay. Yeah, Sean, it's pretty frosty outside. I definitely got to sit there and bundle up. Um, it's definitely something I got to be bundling up, especially waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning and going out to work. Um, but I think as long as I bundle up and I'm good about it, what's good, Eagle? Trina really needs a life of her own, and once she finds out the truth, she's gonna have egg on her face. I agree. Alice says, "I just don't care about." Oh, fuck, Jesus Christ! I just don't care about Jordan. Maybe because I don't like her. Yeah, I don't like Trina either. Jordan, listen. The fact that Dante had to sit there and entertain Jordan, and her sitting there his um questioning his integrity. Some to say, "Oh, you're just hoping that the blame doesn't get shifted back to Michael." I was like, first of all, you're sitting there defending a moron who lied to the police and got caught. Don't get upset and start running up in here like you run shit, like you ain't the commissioner anymore. Hell, I don't even know what the hell you are at this point. You're Sitwell's assistant. You're Sitwell's assistant. And she's also still in the cover just in case people forgot. But apparently she forgot and said, "Oh, well, life has been hectic with Curtis." I was like, "Yeah, life has been hectic with you trying to get back with a man who treated you like shit." Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. I mean, yeah, listen, he's better off telling the truth at this point because it's going to come out. And conspiracy was good, Black Mon, Mr. GQ. Conspiracy to commit murder is still a crime. Um, but yeah, And his punk ass didn't even actually go through with it too. That's another thing that's annoyed me. Like you brung back Miss Wu to sit there and say, okay, I'm gonna pay you money and you get rid of him, just to within an hour to change your mind. Like, uh, Krista says, I think YNR is the worst right now. What you not liking about YNR? Um, I didn't really. Here's the thing. I didn't really care for Sharon and her talk with Noah. Like no, honestly, tell you the truth. First of all, you remember how he reacted. I'm doing good. What's good, Albert? I don't get why Pamela on Beyond the Gates, if they're not going to give her a storyline, they are wasting Claudie and didn't even flesh the character out like everyone else is fleshed out. I mean, what else is she doing? Seriously, we really think about it. What else is the actress doing? What else could she be doing? It's like Greg Vaughn. People sit there saying, "Well, I hope that they actually use him." Well, first of all, it's been 2 days, and his I can tell you right now that he's going to be a buzz, and hopefully I'm wrong. But like, what else is Greg Vaughn doing? Like, seriously, what's good, Cherry Ice Cream? What's good, Queen of the South? How are you doing tonight? It's good to see you. Where's my damn music at? Nina's a hypocrite the way she acted catching Michael. Jacinda, does she not remember her and Drew? Well, I mean, to be fair, that is her office. It's one. To be, I know you're just probably just you're just venting. So I'm not gonna like I'm not coming at you sideways. Um, I'm doing good, Black Mine. I had the day off. It's one thing if you sit there getting busy in your own office. It's another thing when other people are doing that. Like there's it's like getting busy in your house and you being like, what the hell? Like it's what was listening to saying before? What was I saying before? Somebody asked me a question. Oh, like yeah, you remember how? Okay, apparently it's not gonna. Um, but like Sharon, the last time you came at Noah kind of sideways, he practically told you to get out, and he was ignoring your calls. And now you're gonna sit there and get up in Sienna's face talking about, oh, you're bringing this down the third, and I don't approve, and blah 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 blah. Like, and even Nick, which I like Nick, but Nick was not there talking for Noah when it came towards her talking when it came towards him talking to Audra. Yeah, well, he just got back and this, that, and the third, and we got a lot of stuff to do. It's like, what are you talking about? Bro, he's a grown ass man. He can talk for himself. He doesn't need you babying him. Like, are you kidding me right now? Um, Sharon acts like women need her approval. Exactly. I was like, girl, he's a grown ass man. If he wants to sit there and hang out with Sienna, let him hang out with Sienna. It's not an issue with Sharon. It's like the minute that they get her on, they have her be super fucking naggy. And it's like, I know some people are gonna sit there and say it's totally fine. She's just being a mama bear, but like she needs to stay in her damn lane. Like when Noah finds out, where's my music at? So, when Noah she even looks like a grandma today. Yeah, I mean she ain't bothered to fix her hair or anything like that. I'm like, I mean, did you just like wake up and just said fuck it? Like, but like he's not gonna be happy about that shit. And she's like, I'm just trying to protect you. He's a grown ass man, you know? Um, I mean, it's good seeing Tamara. I think it's Tamara back on the soap opera. Because let's be honest, they weren't doing shit with her on Days of Our Lives. They weren't doing a damn thing with her on Days of Our Lives. She had no purpose on that show. I'm like, listen, I think it'd be cool if they bring her back as Kim Neuro. I mean, she does have Julia's child. It's like they did that, and then they just expected the viewers to just forget that Kim wound up having Julia's baby. I'm pretty sure most people here probably forgot about that. Um, it's crazy. DC came in here yesterday. He was pretty much defending Willow, and it made me sit there and think when Michael called Willow an unfit mother. I'm like, bro, you have your kids hang around with a mobster. You were in a burn unit for months because you were close to your father. You let your kids hang around with Jason, who is a fucking killer, and you have the audacity to sit there and say that Willow is an unfit mother. Listen, Drew is a dick. Drew is an absolute dick, right? And yeah, he had one person come at him, but like, how many enemies does the Corinthos have? Just having the last name puts your life in danger. But you want to sit there and try to act like you have the moral high ground by calling her unfit? Yeah, okay, bro. He says, I think Stephanie Stalker is the actor that played Peter August from GH. Yeah, they are. She's not fit, really, just naive. I sat there and I'm like, Michael, you don't really have that much room to sit there and judge. Um, I thought that Days was decent today. I thought it was decent today. Um, I really was good, Tiffany. I really don't care about Johnny. I really don't care about Johnny and Chanel. I find Johnny probably the most disappointing Demera there. And we had the unfortunate pleasure of sitting there dealing with those two for 5 fucking years. Like, it's, well, let's see. Michael allows, yeah, they just, they're boring. They're boring. I can't stand Chanel and her constant bitchiness. And I generally hate using that word. But like as bad as EJ is, and even what EJ did, like her coming at him, I'll just tell you the truth, she just like I wouldn't blame EJ for smacking the goddamn fire out of her. Because I feel like she really needs that to like snap her ass back into reality. Like she has one of the most nastiest attitudes. Um she has one of his nastiest attitudes, and I'm just like, and granted, it's something about her attitude. It's a thing some women do to men. Rosemary says, I didn't see Days or last what happened on Days. What we're talking about right now, it wasn't really a lot of stuff that wound up happening, honestly. Oh, Javi wound up telling Rafe. Okay, I'll tell you something. Javi wound up telling Rafe what Gabby did to get back the company. Um, you know, and pretty much how Tony got the company from Gabby's help, and Gabby got screwed over in the end. And I cannot believe that Javi did that. I was like, Javi, you piece of shit. You didn't have to tell Rafe that. I don't know in what universe that you thought it was a good idea to tell Rafe, the fucking FBI, that Gabby has a good reason for going after Tony and told him about the whole deal and the merger and everything like that and how she helped. You don't have to do that. You could have kept your fucking mouth shut. And then he was like, "Well, don't tell Gabby I told you any of this." I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" I mean, honestly, tell you the truth, Javi never really did much for me as a character. You know, he's obviously there for representation because he doesn't bring anything else to the table like well, Leo brings humor, whatever their version of humor is. Yeah, you know, Eagle, and thank you for reminding me about that. Lily's another person who have just become so insufferable, and like I don't understand. This is something that Eagle, I talk about this all the time, like how weak they portray men in soap operas. In what universe is a man gonna sit there and take a woman berating him, being nasty to him, being rude to him, and he's practically begging to go with her to this what's good for this um to go to this not Winterfest but go to this event. I'm like, what are you doing? And the minute that King walked in, she had like the illest mug look on her face. I'm like, here we go. Exactly. That's exactly what I was saying. Like Sharon definitely overstepped. She was doing way too much. And even Nick was not there talking for Noah. I was like, Nick, it's a grown ass man. Like, how about you calm down? He was grown. He pays taxes. Like, it's not there acting like he's 10. What Harvey did what hobby he did that while why is he doing that, is he trying I don't think he's trying to get back at I don't think he's trying to get back at her. I don't know why he did that. I think he might have did that to protect her. Honestly tell you the truth, I have no idea why. That is that really doesn't make any sense to me. um let's get spider Derek needs to move on. Is the world Why in the world has Bill not checked himself to the hospital he passed out a few days ago, acting like nothing's happened? Well, to be fair, Bill doesn't like hospitals. And you have Haley in his ears when they're saying, well, you don't need to go to the hospital. I'm all you need. I'll sit there and take care of you. And Bill, being the fucking idiot that he is, decides to sit there and listen to his idiotic wife. So um and yeah, I do agree with that, Spider. He does need to move the fuck on. But that's the problem though, Spider. He's a loser. He's a loser. And losers don't learn. Losers will sit there. Losers is going to sit there. A loser is going to be a loser. You know. Um, yeah, I don't know why he did it. He didn't. And the thing is, Rosemary, he didn't have to do it. He literally, vo- he literally volunteered that information to Rafe for reasons that he'll probably tell us later on, and we'll just sit there and look at him like the idiot that he is. Um, it was like I said, it was just wild to me. I was like, bro, what are you doing? You know, another person that needs to move on is Xander. Doesn't matter though. I don't like hospitals, but if I pass out, I'm taking. Well, I mean, you have common sense. Their Bill needs to check himself ASAP. I wonder if Leslie's going to play Marcel since Eva exposed his intentions. Well, yeah, she's gonna sit there and play him. I mean, she literally sat there and said that she wants to have she wants to have a cop on her side like the Duprees did. Xander at least talking to a shrink. He's trying to work on his anger. What has Sarah done to repent? I don't like the fact that Sarah is snitting keeping Victoria from Xander. Like, yo, listen, you don't want to rock with Xander. Okay, fine. What's good, Krista? I had honestly tell you the truth, I'm listen. I don't even know why he did that. He didn't sit there and say why he did. All he said was, don't tell Gabby. I told you this. What's good, Lisa? I feel like he's gonna explain his reasons later on, and I just hope that they make sense. Um, and Laura was another person that was kind of annoying me. Say like you you think they're doing all this bitching and complaining. You doing all this? Yeah, it's good to see you. It's good to see you, Lisa. Rosemary says, "What's going on with Xander? What did Xander do on days? He didn't really do anything on days. He talked to Marlena. Again, one of the things that he brought up was that he hasn't seen his daughter. Sarah has been keeping him from his daughter, and he felt like he wasn't in a position to really sit there and fight, like try to fight that. And as I was just there saying, like, listen, Sarah, you don't want to rock with Xander. I get that, but you keeping your daughter from him, I'm not cool with that. I'm not cool with that. Other than like I said, he just talked to Marlena about what's been going on, just catching her up. I think she probably going to do something to Marcel's wife, like maybe frame him or make her think he's cheating. But Leslie's going to use his wife to take advantage, I think. Well, I mean, if you're right, I'll definitely shout you out and sit there and say, well, Spider was right. I don't, that's the thing though, Spider. I don't know if Beyond the Gates is actually that good at telling stories. That's the thing. Like, that sounds like a good story. I think that's beyond the Gates' capability as far as writing something interesting like that. I don't have faith in them that they would do something like that. Yes, it's good to see you, Lisa. Um, and Sarah didn't really do too much of anything except for say she's going to write because yeah, but when you edit your reviews, you can skip the part of your video where you hit the play button. Just got to start point on when you edit your reviews videos, you can skip the part of your video when you hit. Well, I mean, I don't really edit my videos or anything like that. So like, the only thing I do is I put the intro and then I just come on right after. So I don't really. I notice when you play the GH video, it just goes to start point. Yeah, no, I saw you wrote that. But no, I don't really edit it, so I don't. Yeah, yeah. No, thank you for letting me know. Also, by the way, um, when I do reply, like when somebody makes a comment on one of my videos, I can actually leave a voice reply now, which is weird. So like, if Eagle sits there and writes a comment in my video, I can reply in a voice message. I don't know when they started doing that, but like that's wild though. So I'll do that. I'll do that from time to time. Yeah, I mean, like that's one of the things that Sarah has done that has been foul. And listen, the way that Sarah's looked at looking at it is like, yeah, I lied, but you violently, yeah, well, yeah, Allison. So like, if you write a comment, I can sit there and reply back with a voicemail. Oh, why can't Brady find his own place? He has money. It's just dumb. It's just a dumb plot so that Brady sniffing around Sarah and Xander can't control his anger. It's funny. Um, and I thought about that before I started streaming tonight. I was like, that's exactly what's going to end up happening. He's going to get close to Sarah, right? And it's like, it's really messed up. So, one second, Spider. So, like, Xander's not there trying to improve himself, fix himself, and everything like that, right? And the fact of the matter is, it's like they are set, like Ann said, they are setting this up so this way Brady and Sarah can get close. It makes Xander jealous, and it puts him right back in that dark place that for weeks he has been trying to dig himself out of. And as Xander fans, I'm like, this is just, it's like setting him right back to the fucking beginning. Um, so like I said, today GH was random with four characters you talked about in your review. Oh yeah, yes, Felicia. Yes, thank you, Spider. Felicia, Liz, Molly, Christina didn't do anything in this episode. They was just literally there for filler. They didn't do anything. They didn't contribute a damn thing. Lady V was good. It's good to see you. Well, Liz and Felicia did more of a PSA about like, I don't know, eye mites or some shit like that, some sort of health thing that people should get checked out or whatever. Which is like, you really sat there and decided to take time to do. Um, you decided to sit there and take time out. So, well, it was random, but like they've done that before. Like throw a PSA in there. Eagle says Marlena says she was going to talk to Rachel doctor to see how Rachel's doing, but Brady told her she's not allowed to check on her condition. Marlena better be careful with HIPAA laws. Facts. Overstepping. You're exactly right, Eagle. Allison says Felicia and Liz seems was not needed, not going to lead to anything. It's like I said, it was a PSA. They've done that before, right? Oh wow, I'm sorry to hear that. Lady V. I know exactly. Like I had the flu one time, and that's, oof, it is just the fucking worst. Like it's bad. So now I feel you, Lady V. I'm glad you're feeling better, though. Seriously, I am. I'm glad you're feeling better, Lady V. Um, yeah, I gotta do that. I gotta do that because I mean, granted, I hate being sick with a cold. The flu is like way worse, way worse. I mean, she didn't really do anything, but I'm happy you're happy, Spider. That's cool. I don't really have much to sit there and say about her. I will sit there and say is the only thing. It's the only positive thing I will sit there and say, Spider, about that. Um, was that Lucas actually recognized that she was a good doctor and that her talents were being wasted as far as being doing administration stuff. So that's good. That's the only thing that was good. Like I said, General Hospital was decent today. It was decent, but honestly tell you the truth, I'm happy that you're happy about it. Um, I don't know. I felt like I actually tell you the truth, except for B&B, except for B&B. I don't know what they were doing with B&B. I really don't know it. This stupid ass wedding thing that they're doing for 3 damn days. Oh, you missed it twice. Sidekick says Britt and Jason's gonna do it tomorrow. Mark my words. And at tomorrow's episode, they're in bed together. Okay. Well, I mean, if it happens, it happens. Um, I don't know what to sit there and say about that. Like, I'm gonna be honest. Like, listen, if you were happy about that, that's cool. Um, I personally think that Britt has been treating Jason like shit, and I wouldn't be too surprised if Jason doesn't do some stupid shit, like decide to. I'm just not just saying like the fact that she treated him like shit for a hot minute, and he's just gonna jump into bed with her. Like, okay, bro. Ego says I've not seen B&B since they offered in the storyline with Will. I've never turned to that garbage soap again. I'm coming close to giving up on YNR. Days and GH are my favorite go-tos for now. Yeah. Um, Lady says, much appreciation for the well wishes. You thought the flu is bad. Did you? Yeah, I had that too. I had COVID. The flu is actually, well, uh, COVID was bad, but the flu was just worse. Um, COVID lasted longer. Like for me, it lasted like 3 weeks, if not longer. So the flu, I felt like I was in pain. COVID, I just felt weak. I felt weak and I felt tired. Um, so it's like each one has its own separate hell, but like I mean, it's a fucked up choice, but I would probably choose COVID as opposed to the flu. What's good, Amber? I mean, we will never be Sam. That's true. Yeah, that's 100% true, Allison. Like Sam is a non-factor. Like it's seriously it's a non-factor. What'd you say? Well, I mean, honestly, tell you, Spider, I don't think the fans are gonna sit there and take another year of Brits that they're treating Jason like shit. Like they're already annoyed as it is now. I don't see that particular whatever going on for a whole nother year. Like that's just excuse me. He just says all sorts have been. outdone this week by the X. I saw a little bit of that. I didn't get a chance to watch it. Like on Inside Edition, but I saw that on my timeline. So I'll watch it before I go to bed. But well, I guess there's good things in small favors. He won't be there next year. I mean, unless he decides to renew his contract. Unless he decides to renew his contract. Um, it is, Allison. It's different for everyone. Some people it was more severe. For me, um, it was medium ground. I lost my appetite. I had to force myself to eat. So she needs to admit he still loves Willow and stop wasting BLQ's time. What else is he going to do? That's a good question, right? Like, I don't think it. I don't. Like he has his podcast and probably his online coaching, but I don't think it brings in the same money that being on a soap opera does, right? So unless he actually saved up his money and stuff like that, like you know, 'cause that's a good question. That's a very good question. Like, what else is he gonna do? But that's why I sit there and said about Greg Vaughn. I was like, well, what else is Greg Vaughn gonna do? I mean, I always ask that question sometimes because, like, yeah, Greg Vaughn was on Sugar or whatever that show was called, and you know, I didn't personally have much use for Greg Vaughn as I didn't have much use for Greg on Days of Our Lives, right? Like it was always Eric and Nicole, you know. And I honestly tell you the truth, I didn't like Eric and Nicole. I didn't. They would date other people. They would constantly fuck over whoever else they were with to sit there and cheat on other people with each other. They were the type of people that's like just be together. Because every time you wind up being with EJ or Jada or whoever else, you constantly sit there and fuck over these people and you both come across as pieces of shit. So when they left town, that was like the best episode when Eric and Nicole left town. Best episode. So now he's on Beyond the Gates as Kai or Kyle, whatever the hell his name is, and was good at, and he's just not 2 episodes in, and I don't care. And hopefully, hoping he gets better, but I don't know how much hope I'm gonna hold out for. Yeah, and that's true. That's true. That's why it's like what he has going on for him. He's playing Kai. They're just spilling it different on the Kyle, right? Thank you, thank you. I mean, thank you, Ed. Because I'm like, I was wondering like why he spelled it like that. But it's beyond the gates though, so you know. But oh, Ed, I don't know if you saw it, and I'll probably sit there and say this throughout. Um, yeah, Ed, it was hella disrespectful. But Ed, I replied back to you, so I'm able to do like voice replies. So Ed, if you write a comment in my comment section, I can now sit there and reply to you in a voicemail, which is actually really cool. Yeah, and when I saw it, I was like, it was a new thing. It was like, yeah, you can reply with like voicemails. I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. So we need to know what's going down. Yeah, it's so interesting. Somebody else has my name. So interesting. Somebody else has my name. I don't know what they're doing with B&B. Honestly, 3 days of a fucking wedding. Like, are you kidding me? And you're gonna have a child officiate it. Like, what? My name is common. My last name is now not. That's the idea. I mean, Lucas was like, "Hey, listen, I may not like you as a person, but as a doctor, you're on point." And when Isaiah asks Portia, listen, if it came down to it, would you have told me the truth? I was like, "Yo, she's literally having an affair with you and lying to her husband." You honestly think that she is like the pillar of truth at this point? Lucas has a habit of making poor decisions on and off work. I mean, I think it's wild that he would choose Marco over his own sister. I think that shit is wild. I'm like, well, Carly needs to sit there and get with the program. Like, what? Well, why did it get on your nerves though, Ed? Why did it get on your nerves, Ed? I mean, all she said was like, um, all she sat there and said was, "Hey, listen, you don't have to contribute to this child if you don't want to. Like, I'm not holding you. I'm not obligating you to be a part of this child's life if that's not what you want." So I don't know. Hmm. I got the. Well, I mean, you know what happens if they don't step up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know exactly what happens when they don't step up. Because she took this long to say anything, and now she's assuming that he wouldn't Consider he's already risking his career to be with her. But snow on Sunday. You know, yeah, Sean. Listen, it was it was it was coming sooner or later, Sean. It was coming sooner or later. So, is that snow for you, or I mean, you're in Boston. You're not that far from New York, so I'm assuming that we're gonna wind up getting snow too. That is what you call it. What's good, Jillian? This Rach and Sophia storyline is getting on my nerves. Yeah. I mean, I don't like either of them. Like, I don't really like either one of them. Ego says someone needs to make an AI of Portia, Curtis, and Isaiah getting the test results from Murray. I wish I can do that. I wish I can do that. That's the thing. That's the thing, Ed. You can tell at this point she's spiraling, right? I just don't care for her spiraling because I don't care about Trina anymore. I feel like they have literally run her character, right? Her character was interesting was when Esme was there and when Spencer was there. Because Esme gave her somebody to sit there and fight against, and she made Spencer more tolerable and more likable. But ever since those two characters gone, it's like they don't care. And now they're writing her in such this bratty way. It's like, and then she goes outside and she's like, I don't know my parents anymore. My dad's still working with Selena and my mom is pregnant, and didn't tell me. And I'm like, and your mom doesn't have to tell you. You're not the center of the fucking world. Yeah. And then I'm constantly rolling my eyes too. Ego says Sophia can't act. She's honestly the worst actress in daytime, and bless her, I have nothing against her. Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's really really bad. And I'm gonna sit there and keep saying it. She's a discounted Jan Spears. She's a discounted Jan Spears. Allison says I don't care about her others. She's just a mommy daddy girl. Just annoying. Yeah, they've ruined her character, and it's a shame. Cause like, yeah, I don't really, I wouldn't care if Trina was not on. What's good, Timeless? Ego says, you know who I would get to play her character? The old Charlotte from GH once she turned 18 to play Sophia. Yeah, give her some brunette hair. Well, mm, she doesn't look Asian. That's the thing. Like, you gotta get somebody that looks Asian. What's good, Mika? Trina acting like Curtis has always been her dad her whole life. Just the way she was acting with Rachel at some points yesterday was so cringe. Yeah, that's that shitty acting for you. Mika, Wino was decent today. Wino was decent. Sharon was annoying. Nick was also annoying. That's true. That's true, Eagle. But I'm not gonna lie. It'll be kind of wild, though. I mean, if the fans accept it, Asian Blair turn. That's true. That was like the '90s, though, and they didn't really have a lot of pushback then. Now you have social media, and I'm not gonna lie, that wouldn't play out for so many reasons. One, you had two girls of hers there being Asian, just sit there and get a white girl in there. Number two, I mean, it would be a little kind of off though. Like I can see how people would consider that to be kind of racist. Like I can see it. Tomlin says, I really enjoy your reviews. I may be in a minority, but it was refreshing to have something medical happen to a character that wasn't life threatening. I respect your opinion. What's good, Jonathan? What was the what soap has been the best this week? I have to catch up. Honestly, GH, but not by much. Not by much. Gorgeous Queen Janet, how you doing? GH, but not by much. GH was decent. GH was decent. Days was decent. Um, it's weird because like I can easily see Days also taking that spot as the best, but I'll give it to GH though. I would sit there and say Days was actually like second best. Johnson says, "What do you think of EJ Johnny Schnell?" Um, Johnny is disappointing. I'm so sick and tired of Chanel and her attitude. Um, and the sad thing is that like I understand her anger and her issues towards EJ, but like there's something about that bitchy ass attitude that just makes me wish that EJ would smack fire out of her. Johnny has been a disappointment for 5 years, and we have just been stuck with we have been stuck with literally the worst and most boringest Demera out of that whole damn clan. And it just seems like the writers just like, no, it's fine. And I get it. They need like the lovey dovey stuff, but like he is just one disappointing ass character. And it's so bad. It's so bad. Um Only thing about Sarah I will sit there and say is that I don't like what's good, Danny Bear? I don't like her keeping Victoria from Xander. I don't like her keeping Victoria from Xander. One second, Ed. Mikhail says, I read somewhere Susan, Alexa's assistant, may be on Sitwell's payroll. Well, that'd be interesting. Even Chanel says she overstepped with EJ and Johnny telling her it's okay because I would have. See, exactly. And that's the thing, though, right? Like, she kind of realized that she overstepped. But, Johnny being the. Uh, I don't know what you want to call him, being the disappointment that he's like, no, Chanel, you did a good job because I would have said the same thing. I was like, Johnny, all he did was ask you to sit there and step in for a little bit, um, while the family is away. And he sat there and had like the biggest temper tantrum. I'm like, and he's supposed to be a demerit, like, oh my goodness. Janice says, if you were a betting man, who shot Drew on GH? Um, that's a good question. Honestly, I don't even have an answer for that. I wish I did. I see everyone has like I can't sit there and say Alexis because I don't think that she would have that much motivation. What's good, Dolomedics? So I don't know. I wish I knew. I don't have any clue. I mean, hell, people could sit there and say it could be Scout. And I know people will sit there and say, well, it can't be Scout because of the silhouette and the shadow. But like Scout would have just as much reason to sit there and shoot Drew. Drew has been keeping Scout from her family. So if I was to ignore that silhouette, I would sit there and say it could be Scout. You got you got you got Daz in there. You know, there's a fine line between crazy and stupid, though. You know, people could be crazy, not necessarily stupid. Why not? I mean, honestly, tell you the truth, if you really think about it, like who else would do it? Lady says, "AB, you going through it with these characters. Most of the chat fam is with you. These storylines are getting trash and more trash. Like what? Christina is a good example of that. You got a point. I don't think that Willow is you're right. I don't think that Willow is stupid though. Like stupid enough to sit there and do it. I mean, I could be wrong, but Johnson says Johnny is embracing his Demara side. He leans more to his Brady side. Does he? I don't know. I just know that he's a disappointment. I know that much. Gillian says, "Who do you think Dante and Nathan saw on the footage?" That's a good question. I don't even have an answer for that. I was going to sit there and be asking the chat that too. I was literally going to be sitting there asking the chat that as well. Because that's a really good question. Kat says, do you think Brady Black ran his course and needs to be put on ice for a while? I can see that. I can see that. So Janice says Michael, right? You know, it would have been so, the problem is like, and maybe this is another reason why I didn't even have motivation to even sit there and do a theory, is because Drew didn't die, right? Drew didn't die. He is still alive. And so it's like, I think this is the reason why most people don't have that much of a. I'm honestly telling you, I'm surprised people are actually caring. Like, who shot Drew? Because Drew ain't dead. So, like, oh, you shot him twice and he's still here. So, like, you're going to go to jail and you failed at what you were trying to do. You shot him twice and you still couldn't kill him, right? Oh, I like that. Now, Dolomitic says Sam, right? we're not and that's the thing, Jenna. We're not invested. Like if he would have died, then it would have been like, okay, cool. This person is going to jail. Because I feel like if the character would have died, whoever is the person that shot, whoever is the person that would have killed Drew, they would have went to jail for life. They would have went to jail for life, and that would have been it. Like that would have been the end of that character. So I think that's why they didn't kill Drew, because the dude is still alive. So it's like, okay, they'll go to jail for a little bit, but they ain't, or maybe they won't go to jail. I don't know. So, I mean, Sonny didn't go to jail, and he killed an FBI agent. Filmex says lots of famous whodunit involving the victim surviving. It just has to be a good story. And you know what? Listen, since new people are here, I'm still going to go back to the whole Michael versus Willow thing, right? Michael is out of pocket for something they're calling Willow an unfit mother. When you allow a mobster and a trained killer around your kids, you were in a burn unit for months because you were around Sonny, and yet you let Sonny around your kids, but you're calling Willow an unfit mother. Yeah, okay. Listen, Drew may be an asshole, but like he's not like has enemies and enemies and enemies like Sonny has gathered over the years. So, and yet you allow your kids to spend time with them. I mean, you changed your last name to Quartermain, but Willow's an unfit mother. Hmm. Yeah, and see that I can understand. That I can understand, and that's true. That's true. That's true, Jillian. Willow's nuts, but she ain't. Michael's last name. Well, he wanted to go by Quartermain as opposed to Corrento. So no, he didn't change his last name, but like he wanted to push out the Quartermain thing as opposed to the Correntos thing. And I'm like, mm-hmm. We aren't supposed to remember anything that happened to Michael because of Sonny. We're supposed to believe that Michael was better off without the Quartermains. It's like I said, it's just wild to me. I'm like, I get that people don't like Willow, but like not liking somebody is not the same. And I get that Michael is more of a likable character than Willow, but like Michael was out of pocket though, and I stand by that. I just hope Michael tell Willow that Wiley told him, and Amelia hate it at Drew's and do not want to live there. Yeah, Jenna, I don't know what the hell they're doing on Beyond the Gates. Which is why I titled it, you know, Um, Derek is a loser. What's good, Big Nate? They're all right. They were decent for the most part, except for Beyond the Gates and B&B. Beyond the Gates and B&B were like the worst of that. And B&B is going to be terrible tomorrow because they're still doing. Yes, have a good night, Sean. I will sit there and see you tomorrow. I don't know what they're doing on Beyond the Gates. I wish. I mean, he is going to try to use that firefighter chick that was hitting on him to make Ashley jealous in order to try to gauge if he can get back with Ashley because he's an idiot and a loser. Yeah, and I get that. As says aged alcoholism, and what might have happened is supposed to be worse than Michael being shot and put into a coma, being assaulted in prison, or being firebombed. Facts. DC's not Derek being a loser. He's a good man. AJ Quartermain Bostic. Fuck me, I know I forgot something. Well, the killing the stepmom was in defense, so I'm not gonna sit there and put that on him. But you know, the other stuff that I said before you came in, yeah, I stand by that. He's an idiot because that five-fried chick is prettier and wants him. Yeah, yeah, that's true, and I 100% agree with you. Yeah. When did I actually do that? When did I do that? I literally was there talking about Sonny and Michael. Like, what are you talking about? See, this is like my whole thing. When I said yesterday that you need new material, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Broski comes in talking about I'm making excuses for the Corinthos. When I literally sat there and said that Sonny should be in jail because he killed an FBI agent, and Michael is out of pot. No, that's not what I said. I said that DC. I'm gonna sit there and say this one time, and then after that, every time that you say a comment about Jason is my guy, I'm just gonna sit there and ignore you. I said that Michael calling Willow an unfit mother is out of pocket because Michael allows Sonny, who is a mobster, and Jason, who is a trained killer, to be around his kids. So he's not in a position to really sit there and call Willow unfit mother. When Michael allows dangerous men like Sonny and Jason to hang around his kids. So just because I like a character doesn't mean I'm going to sit there and make excuses and be a pot, I stand corrected. I asked the question. Like, I just have to sit there and say that because, like, that's why I said you need to, get some new material. Oh, that wasn't. That was actual sirens. I'm listening to music and I'm like, I don't remember sirens being a part of this song. I'm like, oh wait, it's actually outside. I'm like, well, which Bill? Because it was. Well, you mean Bill on Beyond the Gates? But DC, how have you been now? You know, I wasn't a huge fan of Willow. I mean, I wasn't a huge fan of Nell because she was very one note, but like semesters is finally over. Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. No, that's not what I. Jeez. Need time to breathe. I'm binging on Domino's Curling. As it says, I don't feel bad for Javi and Leo being worried about Trey because they didn't fight to adopt him, and overseeing them, I'm overseeing them being sad. Yes, exactly. Yeah, yes, I don't know if you watched my review, but I said the exact same thing though. I felt like, that's the sad thing. I felt like that was more plot than anything else because they could have sat there and fought for it. Yeah, okay, Leo has a past, and what happened to Javi was tragic, but like that was an accident and was out of his control. Also, what happened to Javi's daughter, that happened on the mother's watch. It didn't happen on his watch. So like he could have totally sat there and did it. Someone says, I can't stand to see Nell on my screen. I hated her character so much. Yeah, like I said, she was very one note. Yeah. Javi had a daughter with this woman. Was good, Emily. Javi had a daughter with this woman, and I guess they lived in like San Antonio, Texas, or whatever. He was drinking, so the woman decided to sit there and take her daughter to work. But for some odd reason, she left her daughter in the car, and it's extremely hot. And unfortunately, she passed away. And I'm like, wait, hold on. I mean, granted, it's fucked up, but like you left your daughter in the car and just went into work like nothing happened. Like I'm like I'm so like wait what? I just like that just I'm like okay. Let's see what's going on in this chat. 1 second, chat. Yeah, I think his name is Kyle now. It's random. I just hope that they make him a good character because it's been 2 days and I'm gonna be honest, I generally don't care. I'm gonna sit there and show you this short though that I made that I might make into like a series or whatever. So I'll show you a good clip of it.
This place. I can't believe I'm here. Hello? Is anyone here? What the hell? Oh my god. I need to get out. No! Ah!
I know it's not Halloween yet, but still. I don't blame you, Allison. Emma says we need Maxie back on GH for another. I love how Danny Bear just laughs. Like, oh, you're right. You're right. Okay, this is a new one. Thank you, Ed. Thank you, Allison. We need we need Maxie back on GH for Nathan. No, I know what you meant. We do. We need a Maxie. I don't know if we're gonna get Kristen Storm for that. This is the new one.
It's supposed to be empty. Hello? Anybody here? Nani? I should have come in. Who's there?
That was the new one. Thank you. Yeah, I can go back to my music now. I know. No, Danny, I like it. Better, but still funny. Yeah. It's it's honestly, tell you the truth, amazing what you can do with that program. Um, is Albert trying to do psychological damage to the chat? I still don't think he's. Most of the people thought it was funny. Oh, and we have a new person. Almost says drama is already starting at PC Winterfest. Might not be on next week because of yeah. Oh, you're right. Emily says if Crystal Storm comes back, it should be next month, hopefully. Thank you, Allison. I because of DC, I got very addicted to that app. Very addictive. Ed says, do you think Sonny and Jason will kill Sitwell or can get leverage over him? I think they're gonna get leverage over him. Have a good night, Timeless. It was really great to see you. And hopefully you'll be back tomorrow. I'll be on. I I don't know about killing him. Maybe it's just me, but because I see him in the opening credits now, I think if they just killed him off, they would have to go through all that time of eventually editing his picture out. And I don't think they you know, I don't think they put him on the opening credits just to, eventually kill him off. So I like Sitwell personally. I do. So seriously, when I saw the video that you did and you were in it, your voice was there. I was like, oh, this app looks so fun. Um, and I'll probably do the apps maybe tomorrow. Honestly, to tell you the truth, I think I kind of stopped doing the apps for a little bit because I didn't know if it was killing. I didn't know if it was killing my views for my reviews. So that's another reason why I stopped it. No, it doesn't mean that you're safe, Ed. You're exactly right. It doesn't mean that you're safe. I just think that you have a little bit more grace as far as you being on the show a little bit longer. I know, Emily, and see that's the thing. It's been 3 days. Like I'm not a fan of this wedding with Liam and Hope. I'm not a fan of Beth officiating it. I think it's. I know people like lighthearted and sweet moments or whatever, but like this is just fucking stupid. And granted, I'm glad that the whole episode wasn't about the wedding. Um, that's their saving grace. Now, only if it could produce. You ain't kidding. These ain't kidding. You being serious? You ain't. Queen Jess. I think that's probably like the one thing that I just wouldn't do on that app. Like even though I could do it, I think that's probably the one thing that I wouldn't do on that app. Emily says, in my opinion, they need to put Belle and Sean back together on days. Why? I mean, I'm just curious to your opinion. I'm kidding, but that AI research is something else, though. You ain't kidding. It looks stupid, and Beth is hella annoying, like her parents. Here's the thing. I get that some people like. I feel like those scenes are probably just more for like older grandmas that was sitting like, oh, I find it cute. Like, I feel like it's for those age groups. Um, okay. Just I must have missed a lot because why are Liam and Hope getting remarried? Um, okay, I'm gonna sit there and say something that's fucked up. I like Hope also. I'm gonna sit there and say something that's fucked up, and then I'm gonna sit there and blame Jess. And the sad thing is that I sat there and I thought about that like in the afternoon before. before I started watching it. I mean, let's be honest. She was with Carter. No, that's not. I'm gonna sit there and say it. Well, yeah, that too. That too, and he is a habitual cheater. I mean, he has a whole daughter with another woman that works in the same company, which is a constant reminder of why you shouldn't sit there and marry him. But like, listen, she was married. Well, she was. Here's the thing. I hate that they're saying this, but I know Samuel will sit there and say, like I said, Jess, I'm blaming you for this. But like, it just maybe it's just me, and it just comes across like, well, let me get this straight. The black man was good enough to fuck. The black man was good enough to sit there and advance your career or save your career. But when it comes towards marriage, she kept sitting there stalling like there was no tomorrow. Now, it's an out of pocket thing to say because in all reality, I shouldn't bring race into it, but like, it's just kind of wild to me. It's just kind of wild to me, and I'm gonna be honest. I'm pretty sure, like when I watched that, I'm pretty sure when people watch that show, I'm probably not the only person that actually thought of that. I was because Liam thinks he needs a woman. I again, I realize on some level how out of pocket that is because it's really shouldn't be about race, but like I can't help but sit there and not think that. And like I said, Jess, if I get any flack, I'm blaming you for it. I've been saying switch bodies for a day. It's giving me Freaky Friday without Lindsay Lohan. Listen, only because I put race into it, but like I can't help but sit there and not think that. And granted, there's there's probably other reasons why, but like, I mean, Hope. Listen, Hope is a user. Hope is a damn user. And it says Daphne is a pointless character. When I checked in on the show, are they putting her with Carter? Or going to make her? They put her with Carter. Yeah, and that's a sad thing, though, right? Like, they are. I see a lot of people do that. They decide to get together for the kids, which is uh, Hope is exhausting. Just Emily says, Albert. Then what is Liam if Hope is a loser? Liam is a loser. Liam, I don't know, Jazz. It's kind of. It's Here's the thing. You have sat there and said that Derek is a loser, and I can agree with that. But like, how is Liam and Derek both losers? Like, that's my whole thing. Like, how is Liam and Derek both losers? I feel like there needs to be a class system when it comes towards like what is really a loser. I mean, people making a marriage work for the kids is exactly stupid. I think is valid. Okay. I wish I had more alcohol because I'm gonna sit there and explain the reasons of why staying together and marrying somebody and staying together for the kids is a fucking, in my personal opinion, very stupid. Okay? All you're really doing is sit there. All you're really sit there doing is teaching your kids. Okay, true. Liam and Derek aren't comparable. Derek is a bigger loser. I just feel like all you're really sit there doing, and like kids can pick up on that. Kids can sit there and pick up on that. And you're teaching your kids to sit there and basically stay with somebody that you're not happy with. That's what you're doing. You're teaching your kids to sit there and stay with somebody who isn't happy, and then they're going to sit there and repeat that same fucked up cycle. Are you playing devil's advocate? I feel like he's playing devil's advocate. Vindictive? Exactly, Allison. That's what I was like. I don't know. You're both. Derek was just ridiculous. Say like after all that, he still wants Ashley back. Facts. Okay, now DC says I'm Team Derek. Ashley did him wrong. Ashley was wishy washy as how she doesn't want a healthy man. See, I'm gonna explain something. I want everyone to sit there and take a look at this sentence. This is why I don't do teams. When people ask me, well, are you team this? Are you team that? I don't do teams. And no offense, DC, and I'm not releasing that they're trying to shit on you or anything like that. I read this sentence and it comes across as very narrow minded. Like, let's be clear. They are both fucked up people. Both of them in their own ways. Yes, DC is right as far as actually being wishy washy. But Derek sat there and tried to manipulate her. He knew that the only way to sit there and keep her was to sit there and fake being paralyzed. You had to sit there and fake being in a wheelchair to sit there and keep a woman? Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? They're both fucked up people. That's like both of them are fucked up. So when I sit there and I read a comment of I'm team so and so, the only thing that sit there and tells me is that like, and that makes it okay. That makes it okay. Are you serious? Right? It's both of them. That's the problem. They're both fucked up. Saying that your team anybody just it scares your vision. And then you start doing things like this. When you're team Derek, what do you sit there and do? In a sense, you become an apologist and you start to sit there and make excuses for that person that you are team of. And in reality, they're both fucked up. I'm not trying to do anything. I'm literally sitting there pointing out why I don't do teams or anything like that because it skews your vision. They're both fucked up people. And all I'm sitting there seeing right now is DC sitting there making excuses for Derek's behavior. And at the end of the day, what Derek did was fucked up. Nobody wanted to sit there and be with somebody who sat there and manipulated them. And then he says, oh, well, he was scared. So fucking what? Man up. You got balls, right? Use them. Like, I just, again, I'm not trying to come at you, DC, but like, I kind of had to use you as an example. So next time somebody sits there and says, well, Albert, are you team Nina or are you team Carly? I'm like, I'm fucking team nobody. What's good, Ranton? Emily says Albert Haley is playing Bill like a fool. I, I mean, am I wrong, Jess? Unless everyone say what's up to Ranton Ricardo. It's good to see. I was actually in your I wasn't in your stream today, but I was in your stream this week. Not excusing him. It's not like he tried to kill her or anything, and he was scared. He was losing her, his legs, and then also his girl. Wow, it sounds like excuses to me. You also proved my point too. So um, come on, Jess. You and I both know I'm not wrong about that. I might have been kind of a dick about it, but I wasn't wrong. But yes, let's everyone say what's up to Ranton Ricardo. Wait, you were on today, right? I mean, I know I only had a little bit of this, but I know I was in your. I could have swore I was in your stream today. I was in your stream today. Thank you, Emily. I'm like, I know I had this season. This an excuse can be valid. For example, if I'm late because of a car crash, you still prove my point. But okay. So like, thank you, Jazz. It's okay, DC. You can let it go. I love it. I love it. As says now, Curtis and Drew going to work together possibly. It still would have been so much better if Drew would have died, because then at least it would have made at least it would have made us more invested. I shout out to Sam because he does have a point. I mean, seriously, this person shot Drew twice and he's still alive. So you failed at your job and eventually you're going to go to jail. Maybe, I don't know. Unless you're Sonny Corinthos, which apparently can sit there and kill an FBI agent and still be hanging out and having Thanksgiving and seducing. I'm so effing tired of Trina too. Yo, I literally sat there and said, if I wake up the next morning and they decide to sit there and kill off Trina, I am not gonna miss her. I know DC, but it just would have been so much more better though. Trina, listen, Emily says no one is looking into case murder. Well, yeah, because it's Sunny and it's Maurice Bernard. As said, damn, Trina got you there. I'm just sitting there saying, like, I don't care about Trina's character anymore. Like, her character was better when they had Esme and they had Spencer, because Spencer was a dick. Spencer was a dick, and Trina made her better, right? Trina made him more likable, and Esme gave her somebody to sit there and go up against. All Trina has been doing now has just been being a brat, getting into her parents' business, acting like she's the center of the universe. And it made me sit there and think about that time where she got framed by Esme. And Jordan was sitting there trying to help her ass out. Jordan was sitting there trying to help her out. And apparently she forgot all about that shit. Esme storyline was the best she had. Yeah, exactly. Emily says, Albert, they need to bring Spencer back. I always wonder that every day. Like, do they? I mean, listen, I'll be cool if they bring back Esme. I don't know exactly about Spencer. DC says, why does Martin feel like more of a sibling to Nicole and Ted than their son? No, I don't think it's just you. Um, I am, listen, I don't like Leslie, but I am so sick and tired of Eva saying that they're trying to fix Leslie or tame Leslie or tell her to constantly calm down. Mama, you need to sit there and calm down because if you do this, like it's going to sit there and backfire. Mama, we got a second chance and we got money now. We don't need to be doing that. And it's just like, I feel like I need to take, if let me put it this way. If I took a drink every time Eva sat there and called her mama, I think I would probably be dead. I think that's just what would happen. And it says on why not Sharon should be close with Devon and Lily because she was really close to Neil and Drusilla. Spencer could be different the next time around, especially with the Holly experience. Okay, Jonathan, I see where you're going. We I know that she she does, but she doesn't do it to the extent of evil. She does. That's true. She does, but it's not on that extent. Like how even Chanel used to be annoying with that shit. What's good, Cassie? I don't like the character Trina anymore. They're gonna have to have her act like a effing 5-year-old. They're going to do that, then get rid of her. Yes. Hmm. I just don't need her to constantly be sitting there babysitting her all the time. You know. Um, Funny how Bill it seemed like he almost had like a massive stroke, and he seems like he's totally fine today. Just mentoring or whatever Tomas. And Kat being like, I don't know if I'm ready to move in because he's gonna sit there and see the real side of me. I was like, well, maybe you need some self help and some psychiatry or whatever. Because like, no offense, Kat, but you are kind of a shitty person. Like, I mean, you're not the worst, but like, you can be pretty fucking annoying. And I'm gonna be honest, you're not even really that hot. You're not hot at all. You're pretty at best. You know what? I'm just gonna stop. Damn, the Trina fans have flipped so fast. What Trina fans? Like, what are you talking about? Who here has actually been Trina fans? Yes, have a good night, Allison. Uh, it's too soon. Kat and Thomas moving in together. Nothing. You know what? I'm gonna blame two things. Obviously, I'm gonna blame you, Jess, and I'm gonna blame this alcohol. Yeah. No, but seriously, like who has been Trina fans? I'm just asking a general question. Like, who here has been Trina fans? You're so mean. I am not mean. I was just being kind of dickish to DC to make a point. And DC, no, DC, don't do that. Don't agree with her. Johnson says Michael and Jacinda could take in their interaction. It- yeah, it was hella disrespectful. It was. Arisprina is giving Men in Black. No, DC, I'm asking a very fair question. Okay, so like Danny Bear, I'm a Trina fan. Well, was she's being really annoying now. Don't see a reason for her to be around. I'm just asking a general question, like who here have been Trina fans? No, see, if I was, no, I'm not gonna go there. I'm so tempted to say it, but I'm not gonna say it though. You know what? Honestly, tell you the truth, it's not necessary. I'm not gonna do that. No, I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna go there. Not because I'm not. Don't don't do that, DC. Just as I was never a Trina fan. Domek says I was a Trina fan back when she actually had a personality. Oh wow. And no one's Sienna still getting hot and heavy. I'm like, yo, listen, they don't need to be sitting there doing that in the living room, like where anyone can walk in, like Mom Dukes. Like, since Curtis is now enemy with you, will he get a new best friend? She needs to have a storyline that doesn't include her being in her parents' business. So what if they getting divorced? She didn't grow up with them both. Yeah. I mean, you're 100% right. I mean, listen, I get it. You know, she loves her dad, she loves her mom, and it sucks that they are splitting up. But my whole thing is like, she is. I feel like she is overreacting. I really do. I just honestly tell you the truth. I just don't. I just don't care. Like that's the truth of the matter. Like I just don't care, and her attitude isn't helping. I recall being a Trina advocate in the past. I mean, let's be honest. Listen, we're all saying it without saying it. I think he was probably more of a Trina advocate for a certain someone because that person would constantly lose their shit when anyone sat there and talked about Trina. And that was way too nice back then. But you know, it's a new day or a new night. I'm gonna say whatever the hell I damn well please. Um, as I'm tired of saying what are you saying? You know damn well what I'm saying, DC. Don't act like you don't know. Oh, DC's not there trying to instigate shit. I love it. That's good. That's cute. I like that. Yeah, Cherry knows. You know too. Yeah, we know I haven't. Listen, I pop in her streams, just to sit there and say what's up. But I also talk shit about Beyond the Gates, which is probably another reason why this person isn't here. Um, DC's being a brat. I love it. Uh, Domex says seeing the Gia stuff from a week ago just reminded me how boring the young adult crew is now. Listen, I would love for them to bring Gia back. And like I said, it's always fun since they're like watching a lot of the classic stuff. DC, are you really gonna sit there and play that game? Oh yeah, that's true. Stella the busybody. How could I forget fucking annoying ass Stella the damn busybody? Stella the effing busybody. Wait, Jerry, he's trolling. She was actually she's not Trina's aunt. She's actually not because um Taggart and Trina aren't biologically, or I mean aren't biologically related. So it's funny, DC. I said the same thing, and Spiderquick actually corrected me. Domac says not with the way they are running, returning characters. These writers can stay away from Gia. Just remember that's sure. That's why I'm glad that Hat Daddy was like, no, listen, he's a grown man. Let him. And DC, check your phone. Delmec says the whole side of the family fell off. She doesn't acknowledge that side of her family anymore. Yeah, she doesn't acknowledge her forever, Dad. DC, you're something else. But it's funny. It took me a long time to sit there and not necessarily like Stella, but like okay, I can tolerate her scenes. Johnson says there's an article that says fans demanded to see more of Alexis assistance. Oh God, that's hilarious. Seriously, forever dad. It's funny. I've said that a couple of times in the stream when we was watching like really old scenes of Taggart when he was like young. That's the thing about like watching like some of the old stuff, right? Um, I know, but like the Manning, like seriously, like take a wild guess who that character is. That's correct. That's exactly. Yep, yep. Danny Bear. Yep, Ed, and yep, DC. But see, that's the thing, right? Now DC says I can never take her seriously. Well, yeah, because she is treated as a joke now. She's literally the definition of the butt of a joke. I feel like they only kept her around as like later on to take pot shots at her. Like Lucy was a great character in the beginning. Now DC says Derek is a good man. I'm just heartbroken that people see him as manipulative. Sometimes people can drive good people crazy. We never consider that. You know what I just read? You know what I just read, right? Fucking excuses. I'm sorry, DC, but that's what I see. I see that whole as paragraph as excuses lane. Rosemary says, "Good night, everyone. Albert, have a wonderful night." Yes, you have a great night, and I will sit there and see you tomorrow. And thank you for coming through. I'm being mean. I'm not being mean. I'm being honest. Derek is a good man. He just needs to move on. Don't do that, Jess. Don't lie to him. Don't lie to Deezy. Don't do that. But seriously though, don't she ain't mean it. Don't do that. She ain't mean that. Yeah, okay. But that's the thing though, like she's been on the show for so long and like in the beginning, like she was never really like she did her scheming and her plotting and her okay. See what you did. See what you did, DC. And I always, Jess, I love you, but like I always sit there and say that you be kind of a bad influence sometimes. But now I see that DC's being a bad influence, though. I see that. I see that DC Smith there, kind of taking the role a little bit as a bad influence. So shame on no, don't do that. Shame on you, DC. You're my guy, but like shame on you. You don't need to be Smith there corrupting Danny Bear. Don't do that. I'm just saying, Jess. Not a bad influence. Don't let him gaslight you guys. DC, I've never once gaslighted anybody. I don't understand why he talk about this gaslighting stuff. I'm just saying, DC. I'm like, man, Justice getting me kind of nervous for a while. I was like, don't do that. Don't. I was like, DC's a good person, but let's not sit there and placate this man. Talking about this gaslighting stuff. I've never gaslighted anybody in my entire life, and I totally forgot what the fuck I was saying. She was never like this jokey joke character, right? Like, yeah, she had her eccentric moments. Even on Poor Charles, she had her eccentric moments, but it wasn't like people sat there and took her as a joke. It was only later on in GH where, like, they didn't take her seriously. But I'm not getting angry. Like, I'm not getting angry. I'm just, DC's not talking about gaslighting or whatever the hell, that means. I don't say bad words. I don't say bad words. Now, DC says 80s Lucy was more serious. Her and Poor Charles, she was more serious. And I think that was like in like the mid 90s, I guess. Like, I would never be able to take Roger Howard seriously ever again. He's cooked in my book. Okay, hold on. Let me take this thing off for a second. Hold on. I I thought that meeting was fucking laughable. I was like, let me get this straight. These are supposed to be three, and I'm not being sexist. This is supposed to be three smart, intelligent businesswomen. On what fucking planet you just agree to allow Sitwell, who has a bad reputation, to import whatever he wants and not have y'all sign off on it, y'all supervise it, Y'all take a look at it. He could be, and like I said, he could be sitting there importing fucking nuclear weapons, and just slap Deception's label on it, and he's just sitting there telling you, yeah, that's the deal. I give y'all a discount on the minerals, and in exchange, you let me just ship whatever I want, and y'all don't get a say so. Y'all get no supervision. That's the deal. It's non-negotiable. If Tracy was there, which I do not like Tracy, if Tracy was there, she'd be like, hell to the no. She would have been like, hell to the no. We'll find another way to sit there and take care of Maxie. Instead, they just sat there and listened to Lucy and was like, yeah, okay, that's fine. Okay. This is like, I laughed my ass off, and I had to sit there and play that a couple of times before I sat in this chair and was like, I can't believe I gotta sit there and tell y'all people that these three morons decided to just say, sure, Sitwell, just slap our label on whatever box, and we don't get to look at it, and we're recorded. Lucy should be kicked out of Deception after this. I don't think any of those ladies are good businesswomen. Because yeah, Lucy's bad because she sat there and she practically tried to guilt trip them into doing it. But Brooklyn and Felicia just said yes. Like that to me is still just fucking laughable. It really is. I mean, seriously, I thought it was comically funny. I'm ready for Tracy to come back. Yeah. Seriously, Jerry, I was like, in what universe does that actually make sense? As says Sitwell setting Deception up to be the fall guy and having more leverage over Sunny. And see, this is why I'm liking Sitwell so far. Sitwell got a gift when Laura decided to call Sunny instead of calling the cops. Sitwell was like, wow, listen, I was just planning on just getting you in my pocket, blackmailing your ass, but you gave me a 2-for-1 deal. Like literally just gave him a 2-for-1 deal. Just Cherry, just remember when I sat there, Cherry, just remember when I sat there and said that Laura should have called the cops, and people was like, no, I think it was a good idea for Laura to sit there and call Sunny. See, now I'm not trying to be a dick, but I'm just laughing at everyone that sat there and thought it was a good idea to call fucking Sunny instead of the cops, because clearly that didn't turn out so well. I respect everyone's opinion. I just sometimes I have to sit there and take a bit of a chuckle and be kind of a dick about it, but whatever. Jonathan, are you in the chat? Terry says I agree. I'm just saying. Now I will sit there and, well, this is nothing soap opera related, but Ed, did you see the trailer for Supergirl? Okay, Jonathan and Ed, did you see the trailer for Supergirl? And if so, I want to know both of your opinions and anyone else that saw it. Then he says, yeah, it was still a good idea to call Sunny. It makes it more interesting. Well, I mean, yeah, more interesting, yes. Oh, okay, you didn't see it. Okay, all right. If you check it out tonight, let me know your opinion tomorrow. I'm very curious. Okay, good. Somebody else also said the same thing. That's interesting. I mean, they said it in exactly the same way that you said it. So that's interesting. Fuck me. Okay. All right. I'm gonna end the stream here because it is 10, and unfortunately, I gotta wake up at 4 o'clock in the goddamn morning, which I feel like I'm getting like a fucking PTSD flash or something. But I will be back tomorrow, and we'll sit there and talk more about this nonsense, and you know, we'll have a good time. If you're not a member, make sure you join. Have some fun stuff this weekend for the members, so definitely do that. Mornings are hat. 6 o'clock in the morning is fucking. Oof. Mornings are hard. Mornings are hard. They are hard, but the good side is that I get out early. Then I can watch more of the soaps early, and that's the trade off. It's an ass trade off, but it's a trade off though. Have a night, Queen Jess. Have a night, Danny Bear. Have a night, DC. Have a night, Blackmon. Have a night, Queen Janet. Have a night, Cherry Ice Cream. Have a good night, Queen of the South. Have a good night, Amy H. Have a good night to the new people that was here tonight. Johnson says, join us next time for another edition of Soap Chat with Apostolic. Thank you, Jonathan. There you go, Cherry Ice Cream. It's good to see you. Good night, Danny. Good night, Random Ricardo. It was also really good to have you here in the chat. We gotta sit there and you got an idea. I'll sit there and message you. And I'll message you too, Danny Bear. Johnson says, "Good night, everyone. Hit the like button." Yes, hit that like button because we had like 30 something people. So hopefully we'll get like 20 something. You get like 20 something likes. I think that'd be pretty cool. I'll settle for that. Um, yeah, I'll sit there and see y'all tomorrow. We'll have a good time. Laters. Thank you, Cherry. Yes, welcome to the new people. It's what we do. Wednesday through Friday is the regular stream, and Saturday and Sundays is the member stream. So, you want to enjoy some good flashback episodes and watch alongs, definitely join that. It's a lot of fun. And it makes you appreciate the soaps even more in a sense. And the characters. Laters.